Good morning and welcome back. This is very exciting. I'm back after a long time. I am in another continent and I have a computer with a bit of a better setup which equips me to do some more fun puzzles. I'm very excited. Today we are looking at a puzzle called Bobsleigh by Tom Fry, and it is a slow thermo Sudoku, meaning that digits will never decrease along thermometers from bulb to tip. So it's increasing rather than strictly increasing like a normal thermo Sudoku. We can repeat it where normal Sudoku rules allow. Okay, it's been solved 843 times. Hopefully we can be the 844th. Let's have a go. Okay. I'm gonna need to move that a little bit so I can see. Right. The first thing to notice is you've got this enormous thermo here. And it goes down, 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 across, across, across. It also branches off into a number of different ways there and up here too. I think that's going to be very constrained. So let's see. If that was 1, how 3 of these different things? 1, 2, 3. That can be a 3. 4, 5. That cannot be a 5. I would have to be a 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, yeah. That cannot be an 8 because of Sudoku rules it would see the other 8. So I think we can actually go ahead and just write that in. Ooh. So we were the strictest that we could possibly be. Meaning this whole question about repeating the 3 isn't a question anymore, because if we did choose to put a 4, we wouldn't have room to put the 9. This is interesting now. This looks very constrained up here. 3, 4, 5. So this can't be a 4 or a 5. The best it could be is 6. If that is 6, this can be 6 again. 7, 8. That can be 8 again. That can be 8 again, and that would be 9. Okay, again, you can just tell this barely fits. That's lovely. And we've got a triple 8. Okay. Now, for here, this is interesting. This cannot be 5 or 6 or 7. It can be 8 and it can be 9 at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and write those in. Which in principle means this could be 8 or 9, but it cannot be 8 because it would see this. So that's a 9. Doesn't tell us anything about this yet. But still great progress nonetheless. Okay. This now is not 6, 7 or 8, and it cannot be 9 because you wouldn't have enough room to finish the thermometer, so it cannot be 3 either, so it's 4 or 5. Could this still be a 4 in principle? Yes, it could be. It could be a 4, 4, 5, 5 even there. So that can be anything 5, 6, 7, but not 8 or 9. So we've got 5, 6 or 7 there. Does that stop this being able to be 5? 5, 5, 6, 6. No, that's okay. Yeah, okay, this seems like it's all plausible now. This could be a 7, 6, or a 5. It cannot be a 4. This could be a 4. Could be a 5. Could be a 6. Cannot be a 7. Okay, otherwise you'd run out of headroom at the top of the thermometer. Alright. Now, where are we getting up to? We've got 8s placed in lots of these boxes. Actually, by Sudoku, that has to be an 8 over here. So we can place that. which is great. We can't do any more of that just yet, I don't think, though. Because we know there's a 9 down there. We know that there's an 8 amongst those. And then we don't really have much of a placing on 8 in the middle box. I suppose we know it's not there. We know it's not in this row. We know it cannot be at the start of a thermometer, and it cannot be this early on in a thermometer. So I guess we do have some constraint on the 8. I'll write it in anyway. Why not? I think it might be time to turn to the next longest thermometer. So you've got, if that were 1, let's try and see what's the shortest number, or what's the shortest amount of growth that this can have. What's the smallest number, rather, that can go here. So if that's 1, that cannot be 1, it would have to be 2, 3, 4, that could be 4, 5, 6, that cannot be 6, that would have to be 7. And it cannot be 8 and it cannot be 9, so dare I say, I think that has to be 7. Oh, right, so that will change some things for us. Okay, so this couldn't be 7, it had to be 6, 5, 4. This is actually all forced at this point now, which is excellent. Ooh, pardon. And you have to think this will fall apart in due course now. Very quickly noting that 2 is taken up in those, so 2 has to be in one of these squares. Oh, pardon, it can go in both of them. That is a lie. I thought that this would be too far along, but you could have 1, 2, 2. And then that would have to be, ooh. Does that have to be 9? Is that a naked single? So it cannot be 1 because of the thermometer. It can't be 2. It can't be 3. Can't be 4. Can't be 5. Can't be 6. Can't be 7. Can't be 8. It's a 9. Okay, lovely. Alright, that works. Meaning that this will have to be our 9. And 9 somewhere up there. Okay, we can place 9 there as well. That places 9 for us there. Lovely. I imagine some people will be getting slightly frustrated that I'm not addressing the large thermometer still. Since that's not an S, a 7 rather than an S, sorry, that can no longer be a 7, so that can no longer be a 6. Okay, I don't think that gets us anything else. 4, 4, 5, 5 still works. 4, 5, 6, 6 still works. 4, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 6, 5, 5, 6, 6. Yeah, as you please. We cannot say anything just yet, but still positive nonetheless. Is there any constraint on this? We can't have 2, 3, 4. It can start 1. If it started 5, what does that leave us? Oh no, it cannot start with a 5 here. If this was a 5, this would have to be at least 5, but 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 are already taken up. So you'd have nothing that you could put there, meaning that this has to be a 1, and this has to be less than, not only less than 5, but less than, or not only less than 5 and under, less than 6, but less than 5. Sorry, what am I saying? Less than 4. We've got a 4 here. So this is 1, 2, or 3. Cannot be a 1. So it is a 2 or a 3. Okay. Now this could be 2 or 3 again. It cannot be 4, 5, 6, or 8 or 9. So is this a 2, 3, or a 7? I believe. And up here then. Oh, okay. If this was a 7, this would be 8 or 9, but that's not possible because of what's in the box. So it's not a 7. So, could this be a 3? No, absolutely not. It cannot be a 4, 5, 6, nor an 8 or 9, so it is a 7. Lovely, okay. Great. 1 is forced in this box, which places 1 down here. 1 is going to be forced in either of those. In principle, that's still available, but then you wouldn't be able to satisfy the thermometer. 2, 3, which gives you 7 over here, which we could have got from Sudoku. 7's up there. Seven's forced into here. Okay, we're getting there with those digits. I feel we've really, broken the back of the puzzle now, and it should start falling apart. We can resolve our 2, 3 thermometers. So we do have the double 3. And what are we missing in here? We are missing a 1 and a 9. Biggest and the smallest. Right. And then we're missing 4, 5, and 2. 2 is forced here. So we do have a 4, 5 pair. It's quite entertaining because you end up forcing this all the way back. 2 and 1 and not 1 there. 1, surely we can start placing the final ones. We can place a 1 here, but we cannot place a 1 in box 1. Okay. This is also going to be 5, 6. Not resolvable at this point, but we've got nice pairs. We're left with a 3, 4 pair, which again we cannot resolve just yet, but I'm sure it'll come in handy nonetheless. That's a 5, 6 as well. We're missing 4, 5, 8, and 6 from this column, are we not? Yeah. So we've got 6, 8 pair in the column. Forgive me for my real strolling pace through this puzzle. It's been a little while for me while I've been away, but I'm happy to be back. 5, 6, or 8, you cannot have 6. You can still have 5 or 8, so that is still up in the air. Okay. Where's the next easy entry point? I feel like we should be getting somewhere sooner. Right. Okay, what's left in this column? Let's do that. So we should have 5, 7, and 4 left in the column. 4, 5, 7. 7 cannot be placed there. 4 cannot be placed in the top one. So if let's change that to here. Okay, 5 cannot go in the middle section, 4 cannot go in that section. So we've got this little triple up here, but it naturally does form this pair, which means we can hopefully make a little bit more progress here, with this being either 1 or 6, which can be resolved, and hopefully that breaks the back of the puzzle. Pardon? Oh, what's going on here? What happened? I've got everything highlighted. That's what happened. Okay. Right, and hopefully the power of Sudoku is what unwinds this for us. Our 9s are completed. And what is left to go? 2 can be placed. 3 and 5, which we cannot quite decide yet. Oops. What if I start doing crazy things like that as well? 3 and 5, but 5 cannot be here because of the double, so that is a 3. Okay. It feels as though the last lines of defense that are being held up by this puzzle are falling. So, in the meantime, while this puzzle meets its inevitable demise, I wonder, where are you guys in the world? What are you guys up to this weekend, or whenever it is that you're watching this video? And what kind of Sudoku do you like to do? I think that's a good start. Feel free to let me know what kind of Sudoku you like to do in the comments. 4, 5, 7 and 8. So that had to be the 4, 7 pair made there. 4, 5, 7 and 8 here. We cannot have 4. We can have 5, 7 or 8 it seems though, which is a little bit of a shame. We're left with a quadruple, that sucks. But alright, we will face it nonetheless. 3, 5, 8, 3, 5, 8. Can we do better? No 5 there. So this is 5, 8. Sorry, I'm clearly being a little bit dopey. That has to be 3, which leaves us with the 3, 5, 8 of a 5, 8 pair. Okay, 5, 8 pair there. That resolves our pair at the top. 4 and 3 pencil marks coming in to assist us. This is going to be 6 to resolve all of these lovely pencil marks, and you just feel that the walls which held this puzzle so very tightly have started to crumble as you just unwind the numbers. We've got 2 numbers left. It's going to be a 2, and it's going to be middling up in the center, a 5 to finish. I solved that in 17 minutes and 56 seconds. Let me know how long it took you. I feel as though I probably let myself down with some of the Sudoku elements of this puzzle, but very fun solve nonetheless. I've enjoyed it very much. I hope you have too, and I will see you all shortly. Alright, bye bye.